Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Foster Yow.
It's me, Foster Yow.
It is.
I should say I'm from Texas, not China. A bunch of German comics found out that my last name was Yow recently. And even though I just for the people who aren't able to watch, I'm very pale. I if I go in the sun for 5 minutes, I turn red. I turn just bright red. I'm a ginger. I'm what you think of when you think of ginger. And three of them got together and they looked at each other. They looked back at me and they said, "Are you from China?"
Oh, Germans! Wow, that's so inclusive. You know, they're like, we're not gonna guess your name, but your surname sounds very Chinese.
Yes.
You actually look like the further. Maybe it could be a great grandparent.
Maybe something I would like to get a DNA test just so I could say part to that, but that's just because I like to be. It's like the super American thing to do is you get a DNA test to see all the different ethnicities that you're just 0.5% of, and then you just claim that you're that forever.
Yeah, right. And then you're like, that gives me the card to be able to say this racist joke and this racist joke and this racist, yeah, which is I respect that, but but is it I always thought that it might be short for something that's more Eastern European. I
was told it was either German or Dutch, and everyone I've met here from the Netherlands has said they've never heard of that in their lives. So it's not Dutch. And I actually went to the part of Germany, it's near Eisenach, where apparently we're from. And they said that I asked 15 people, including 2 historians, because we did a tour about a castle through a study abroad thing, and they said they never heard of it either. So I have no clue.
It must be an abbreviation. I think it has to be. Yao is too much of a short name anyway. It'd be like Yoverabadetsky.
Maybe something like that.
Maybe.
I thought it was some Scottish thing, but I forget even the made up word that I thought that it was, yawn or something like that. But
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no. Well, and also the thing is when I a lot of people ask me where I'm from because of my surname, and a lot of people oh, you're Greek or you're Macedonian, North Macedonian or whatever, and it's no, it's just pure Croatian. It's just we lost the accent and that's it.
You gained the Australian New Zealand accent.
I got the Australian New Zealand accent instead. No, I mean the accent on the S.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a little upside down triangle on top of the S.
I like how I just made fun of a group of people for not knowing anything about other ethnicities or just knowledge of different cultures, and I just failed miserably there.
It was nice. I liked it. Now I'll introduce you as being the owner and the starter of the Wall Comedy Club, where I record this podcast often.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I started this January 2020.
Which is a great time to have started a comedy club.
Right before COVID, which was amazing.
So the way you said that was like people didn't already have it, traumatically engraved in their memory. Yeah, I love that.
It's just that. Well, the thing is, the thing that I was worried about, because it's called The Wall. It's in Berlin, and so I have a thing where I talk about where I accidentally built a new Berlin Wall.
Yeah, you did.
And then 6 weeks later, the government shut us down.
It's so true. Oh, man. I don't think I was producing any shows at the start, but I was here to celebrate the New Year's Eve before it opened.
Right. And our sound system wasn't set up yet. I remember that. Nothing was painted yet. It was weird. But yeah, you didn't start a show because we were closed on Sundays for a long time.
Yes.
And I was looking for a spot for you because you helped a lot, with the planning. I think you helped design the place. Were you here?
A little bit, yeah. I was here.
When I had I think it was about 7 or 8 comedians come by and just be hey, put the stage here, put the bar here, tables and chairs here, and things like that. Yeah.
And then I shortlisted the first bartenders.
That's right, you did.
Just so random. But I'm glad that the Wall, thriving. It's got a really good sort of guest bait. People know about it.
People know about it. I was actually talking with one of the bartenders last night about that, because we were disappointed with our last 2-week sales. But if you compare this 2-week period versus last year at this period, and there were no restrictions in COVID at all, I think we're almost double. I think we're literally double what we had then. And so bad nights now are double what they were a year ago, and that's good.
That's great. That's so good to hear. Yeah, I also helped out with another comedy club in Berlin that has just been sold and is in a comedy club.
Oh, you did with the Moz Comedy Club?
Yeah, I helped out.
I've always been cool with all of them. I went there a week before they closed because Fabian told me what was going on. I wanted to support, and he did. They had Khalid, I think it was his name. I forget. It was a German comic. He was famous, and I don't know him, and that's gonna sound really bad, but that's okay.
It happens.
And it was I went there and drank beer, and apparently his customers did not like beer. And they drank liquor drinks, they drank wine, they drank colas and things like that, but they didn't drink beer. And I think I drank more beer than all of them combined.
Well, I guess that wouldn't be that hard, though. But we do a good job here at the Wall to finish those kegs in a timely fashion.
You know. Yeah, because you were on when I think the second round of COVID, we had, we're going to try and start it up again in like a year. And we might just keep the same name. It was called Soon to Be Expired Beer.
Oh, yeah.
Where we drank beer that was about to go bad.
Yeah.
Because we were in lockdown.
I'm so happy to help with those things. But also, you created a little YouTube series with comedians telling, like, you interviewed us and told jokes. I love that stuff on YouTube. That was good.
We're trying to start that up again. That was one of the problems with COVID is that it started and ended so quickly. So they went like directly into a lockdown, and then they went directly into opening up without like any warning. And so all the projects that we had lined up, they would just we had to stop them immediately to get shows going on because that's more important.
Yeah.
And so just now, like literally just now, we're starting to do both the online and the shows again because it's finally having enough time to do both.
Yeah. It's like there was something about, I've just been feeling, I've mentioned this a lot, but feeling quite stressed with like wanting to create content and like doing clips, but it's also like full steam ahead with shows, and it's like balancing comedy, production, personal life, and then future projects, and then trying to do content as well. It's like, at least in the lockdowns you could only do content.
Exactly. No, it's so different. The content that you do for like a clip like on online is so different than like writing a joke for on stage.
Oh, totally. And it's just, I was talking about this with Louis last night. It's like, I've got all this footage, and you'll watch it and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's a great bit, snip, and then you go to like subtitle and you're like, this is trash. Like, there's nothing unique about this at all, or this isn't fun. Like, it just got a big laugh, but there's no true like value in the interaction.
No, but that's one of those weird things as well, is every time I see a joke that I feel good about and I watch it later, I don't think it's good. Every single time. It's
really like, there are moments where I'll watch a set and I'm like, oh, and you can see the, okay, now this is me sounding not very humble at all, but like there are the occasional there's the occasional set where I'm like, I can feel the magic, and it's usually when I'm doing really new material and somehow it just clicks with an audience, and sadly it's usually when audiences are like 2 to 10 people big, so the laughs are quite quiet, but they're there, but it's more like the energy that's captured on the video is like, it's almost like when it's for a bigger audience, I don't know, it's like I just haven't been able to. It's very rare that I get a good clip where it's a big audience.
Yeah, no, it's a different vibe as well, because that's one of those things. That's why we're trying to start series that are focused on online with no live audience, and we're just doing things. And yet again, with the editing, it changes as well, because you can edit someone's reaction into it, and then that's a joke. Like if you say something absurd and then you just have someone looking at the camera, like in The Office, where they're just like looking at the camera like a gym moment or whatever, like that becomes the joke.
Yeah, totally. It's really, I think this is this, just speaking about this now, I'm feeling like I'm getting some insight into something that I've never thought about enough, which is that those big shows, you're pleasing like all of these people in this one moment. It could be killer, but it doesn't mean that it translates to a good video. And that energy that was crazy, high and electric in the room at the time, that's getting these huge laughs, when it's on the video, it's like, but like it's not that funny, or like it's not, because you're not appealing to the person on their phone watching it. You've been appealing to, or like, does that make to this huge crowd? Yes, at another time and place.
Well, one's the focus on the live audience, and it should be, and that's one of the like, I don't watch stand-up comedy at home.
Oh no,
I don't watch it. I think the medium doesn't translate nearly as well to a live show. I love watching a good stand-up show in person, but online, because I'm in my pajama pants, hanging out, like just, on my computer or something like that. And I might be on like an internet thing on the side, like looking at Reddit or Instagram or something like that. Yeah. And then there's the comedy's almost in the background.
It can very quick. Like I try to be really present when I do watch. As soon as I find myself multitasking, I'm like, no, stop it. Give the art like the time it deserves. And so I stop. And so usually I only watch things in like 10-minute chunks when it's stand up.
And then like in a live audience, if you're sitting in the crowd, the comedian might talk to you as well.
Yeah.
So it like not like trying to make it a better show, so you'll be a part of the show, and that just that chance of that being there means it's just a different audience than anything that could happen at home.
Yeah, and it's also that you're in the room, you're feeling the energy. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Maybe I need to think about making content that's made for. But it's just like, but I'm already doing this every night, so it'd be better just to be able to use this. I don't know. The online thing is, I really, I want to find the perfect solution to it. That's easy and like just becomes this fluid part of the flow of my day where it's like I do this and then I upload it and then I go to shows and it's just easy. But
it's not easy. It's taken me 3 months to find someone to help with this, and then I don't know if in February I'm going to need a second person to help with this as well because it's going to be difficult. But it's so weird. But that's what the main point I wanted to say about the bits that I've never really liked watching on videos is I'll show them to other people. They'll like them because they don't know everything that I'm like how I could have told the joke better or what I left out or what it's like, oh, I missed that one up and I did it once before. I got a huge laugh. This time it got a chuckle, but the end got a big laugh. And it's like, and I wanted a big laugh at all of them, and I didn't do it on this one. It's just like, oh, I could have done that better, and so I don't want to post it yet. But I've realized, hey, you know what? Like, right, I don't have any following on Instagram whatsoever. I have 39 followers.
And like, who the fuck are they?
Like, why?
You don't have any content. Oh no, you posted one video.
No,
right?
I posted my alter ego Foster Yow, who's from Italy. He's posted one clip.
Foster Yow.
But no, I posted one on mine for a joke that I was like, I cut half of it out on stage. I just rushed through it. I thought I told it okay, and I literally posted it just as an experiment.
Yeah.
To see like what percentage of people like it and do people like look at it. And I was like, okay, yeah, we got like 2,000 views on it. We got like 80 something likes or something like that.
It's nice.
It's not bad. And then I showed it to all the comedians and said, hey, if you want your clip to do that, we'll do all the subtitling that we did for it just to try to get other people to promote post stuff on our channel so that we can, get more content out there.
Totally.
But it wasn't a joke I was happy with, and everyone who watched it seemed like they liked it. We got like a number of comments on it as well.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, so that, which I wasn't even happy with, is 10 times better than what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So let's just screw it.
do
just
as
post it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like, yeah. Anyway, it's just a matter of getting into it. I got into it, and then I started getting self-conscious, and I was like, not feeling good about anything that I was cutting up and subtitling. Anyway, I'm new year, new rhythms, new flows. I'm excited for 2023 because I'm leaving at the end of this week to Australia, so no more shows in Berlin by me. I've got a couple of shows that I'll have guest hosts on. So Bruno will be hosting and Louis will be hosting some things. But yeah, otherwise this is my last week in Germany.
We're gonna miss you.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss being here.
I like how you hesitated there. I'm gonna miss you. Yes, that's what I'm supposed to say.
No, I was thinking about what I'm gonna miss, and I'm not gonna miss, like, this is the first year that I'm like, fucking Berlin winter is so doom filled, and like, I don't know, I've struggled. This is the first year that I've been like, I don't want to be here.
Well, this is we've had COVID the last couple of years, so
yes.
we had lockdowns, and then last year we didn't have a lockdown, and it was the first winter where there's no like lockdown. And I think I was just so happy to not be in lockdown.
Yes,
that like it didn't matter anything that was going on.
I agree. I agree, but I also think like there's a bit of this post-traumatic stress. Like there's a bit of trauma around the dark times, like the winter, because we had lockdowns in these dark times, and so they kind of reminiscent of that. But it's also just like, I don't know. I feel like this winter, I'm in a different state, and I'm really glad that I'll be leaving, and I think that's really important for my mental health. But I just, like, I'm in a good place, but I don't know. There's something like in Texas, you don't get sundown at 4 p.m. right?
No, not at all.
No.
I'm planning on going for like runs outside.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Because you're going away from the 23rd of December, you said.
I'm only going for like a week. I'm going to be
Yeah.
there like Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, and then like 3 other days.
Yeah, nice.
And then I'm coming back here, and we're trying to figure out what shows we're doing and what shows we're not doing. And I think we've canceled like 4 right now, and we've one more that we may do, we may not the day I get back. But I told them, I was like, hey, I need to make sure a bartender's here, and like I'm not coming. Like, I'm not dealing with a 5-day trip like overseas and then coming back and working the day I get back. That's just not happening.
No. But that means you're going to get some sunshine though.
But I'm
before
going to get some
New Year's
sunshine. I'm
Eve.
going to be outside for a bit. I'm going to bring my sunglasses and hopefully wear sunglasses because I don't get to do that here. Because I wear glasses for, yet again, the people not looking at me on the whatever. People listening in. I wear glasses because it makes me feel smarter.
I'm wearing contacts because I want to look dumb. Like me.
And so I don't get to wear sunglasses during all winter because it gets dark at like 3:30, 4 p.m. and it is raining all the time.
Right? Or is this like yesterday? I feel like yesterday it got dark. So like it was the first day that I noticed it was pitch black at 4:15, and I was like, "You asshole!" Like I just resent it.
Can't we change the clocks to be like the sun goes up at 12 and goes down at like 7 p.m.?
Yeah,
Like if
can
we're going
we
to
do
change
that?
the clocks, why don't we do that?
Why don't we do it so that we have daylight for daytime? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's an interesting thing because maybe it's just that I've been here too long. How many years have you been in Berlin?
I think 6.
Okay, so I'm 1 year, almost 1 year longer than you. Maybe it's just like it's just like, I don't know. I usually feel so romantic about Berlin, and so like, oh, even when it's cold, it's like, but it's so different and it's so European, and now I'm just like, ugh, this is dark and I don't feel like I've got a full happy life, but I feel kind of lonely, even though like I've got lots of lovely people around. It's like when you go out to get your groceries for the first time at 5 p.m. and it's been dark for an hour, and you're going and you're trudging along, and like I looked into the window of an apartment yesterday and there were 2 people in a kitchen. I was like, oh, I felt it's like, why am I feel like if there was sunlight I wouldn't feel lonely, but I feel lonely in the darkness.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's one of those things, I guess, because Freddie has a good bit about that, about how the 2 Berlins and how like one fools you into loving Berlin, and then you're just like always back and just whatever.
Yes.
I don't remember the bit, and I don't want to say it just because I don't want to butcher someone else's good joke.
Yeah, nice. That's very good of you. But I just like you live by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've loved living by myself, but it's the first time where I felt lonely living by myself, which is weird. And it's not because I'm feeling lonely, like I'm not loved. It's just like I want that extra. I want some people at home. I don't know. It's
I think that I might, because I've never gotten that feeling in Berlin, but I also used to live in West Texas where I was living out of hotels.
Oh,
So the company would pay for a hotel that I would live in, and I would go from like small town to small town, and we would like buy up oil and gas rights to different places. And that's just what we did. And it was like a crew of us, maybe between 2 and 15 people. Mm-hmm. And that was life. It was 9 to 5 working. And then if I was like, after the first couple years, I finally started to try to not be like just a fat slob who's just drinking all the time. Cause that's all, like, I'm shocked that I made it out. It was...
I've never heard that you were. Hold on. So
it's not a fun story, and I'm sorry that I'm now bringing this up on your podcast meant for entertainment purposes. That was bad.
So you had this life where you were living in hotels with a group of other
you had your own room,
but all of your colleagues kind of stayed in the same hotel. Okay.
And at 5 o'clock we would go to the liquor store. Then we'd come back with whatever we drank, and I would drink Lone Star Light.
Lone Star Light,
which is terrible.
In the States, light just means light in alcohol, light in
Calories.
calories. Yeah. Whereas in Australia, light means like less alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah. Continue.
And that's just what we did, and we did that every single day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We drank it from 5 to about 8 or 9. Then we would wake up at 5 in the morning, get ready, and do it again. And that's what we did. And so the whole loneliness, like here, I'm like, oh, I'm drinking sugar-free cola. This is better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. But you had like a group of dudes or people that you were hanging out with?
Everyone was miserable, and it was not a good situation. It was, oh my God, this is awful. I should not have brought this up. I was literally thinking about this day because I'm traveling there now, and all the people I know who were there, like a lot of them have health problems or addicted to something or just completely alcoholic. And I'm just looking back, because the reason I did it was because it was a really good paying job. And at that time I was like, oh, this is amazing. Why don't more people do this? That's why. Because after like 4 or 5 years, you just get such in a routine of doing just, just being lonely. Yeah. And so now when I'm here in Berlin and it's like dark at 4 p.m. and I'm like, you're feeling lonely. And I'm like, this is a lot better than it could be.
For sure. Like, my loneliness is like a moment where I see two happy people in like a backlit, apartment, and they're like deciding what they're going to cook. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go home. But like I go home and then I'm going straight to a show and I'm being social for the next 4 hours and, whatever.
That's what I love about the comedy scene here, though, is that yet again, like it's work. And there's definitely, I would never say that what we're doing here is not work. There's a ton of stress, especially running a comedy club. But you get all the social stuff here right away.
Absolutely.
You get a supportive group of people as well. And yet again, there's drama all the time, and I love hearing about it as long as I'm not a part of it. And I just love sticking my head in, just seeing what's going on, and then just not saying anything and leaving, because I'm like, oh my, there's so much drama.
Oh man.
But I hate it when I'm like ever even like considered part of it, like at all. But like when someone's making like a statement about this person said this and this person said this, whatever, and I'm just like, ooh, this is so much.
Ooh, juicy. I'm so glad I'm just an observer. Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, it's a very supportive scene. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to be positive.
It is a very supportive scene. I love the community that I'm a part of, and there are times where I'm just like, ugh. But then a lot of the time it's just wonderful. And but then I also like I have all the things that are great, and there's like, just to clarify, guys, I'm not like lonely, but it's more like it's the first time in a long time that I've been like, oh, living by myself is feeling a little bit lonely.
It's gonna be okay, Anna. Anna, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through.
I want to get through it. No, it's gonna be fine. It's just the sunlight. It's just the sunlight.
Australia, you're gonna, because it's summer in Australia now. Right?
Yeah. Although it's quite cold in Melbourne apparently right now, but yeah, it is summer.
How is it freezing, or is it like?
No, it's like 10? Top of 6 degrees apparently recently. It's like, what the fuck? It better shape up before I get there. I don't want to be dealing with a cold winter. What?
But at least there's sun, right?
Yeah, I guess. No, they're having a lot of rain apparently. But at least it won't be like freezing. At least it won't be like snow. At least I won't be able to wear my big jacket.
Well, here, like when it's snowing, it's pretty.
Yes,
it doesn't snow often. It's freezing rain.
Yeah,
it's the worst. Yeah. It rains every other day, and it like usually it like mists. Yeah. And that's the thing I don't like about the Berlin winter.
You know what? I actually don't mind the rain. It's the snow, because I can't ride my bike in snow.
That's fair.
Yeah. But
I just think I should clarify. I'm American. I don't ride a bike.
Yes. No. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay.
I tried actually. When I used to live in Leipzig before I was in Berlin. I lived in Leipzig for 2 years. I bought a bike for 50 euros. And a lock for 15.
Okay.
So because you need a lock.
Yeah.
Even if you have a 50-euro bike, someone will steal it.
Absolutely.
And the second time I tried riding it, because I rode it around like to remember how, because as a kid I learned how to ride a bike, and then I didn't ride a bike for 15 years or whatever. And then I tried to relearn how to do it. I did for like an hour or two, whatever. Cool. On the second time I tried to ride from my apartment to the university I was studying at, I almost got hit by a train.
Oh, a train?
Yeah, on tracks.
How did you manage to get onto the tracks?
It was a hill start, and I hadn't done a hill start in a while, and I kind of screwed it up.
A hill start on a bicycle? Isn't that just like pedaling more?
Yeah, but I was standing still, and I kept falling over slightly, and then I like tried to start, and then I kept falling over, and then the train like stopped and got the thing, and they got really mad at me, and so that was the end of my bike riding experience. And then I sold the bike for 55 euros.
Oh, look at you. Well, that's a success story if ever I've heard one.
I was still capitalistic and American about it.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. Choo, choo. What's that? That was like a there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, you have to learn how to ride a bike, man. Like I started learning how to ride a bike in Australia when I was in my 20s, because I was like, I want to be a cyclist. And then, of course, you learn as a kid, but then actually riding on the road is a totally different thing. Like,
yeah, that's why I don't do it in Berlin. I'm too worried about the amount of traffic and about just all the other stuff. Like Leipzig was a much smaller town, and there was a lot less traffic. And here, there's everything. And so,
whereas
the bike lanes are not great here.
No, they're terrible. But for me, this is better than Australia, because I was cycling cycling in Melbourne, and it's not a cyclist-friendly city at all.
Yeah.
And in a lot of the areas that I was riding. And so compared to riding in Melbourne City, riding in Berlin feels very safe and very flat and very protected. Yeah. So that's the cycling story. But
that's my cycling story. You had an you told on when we did an interview a car story, and I told you on your podcast a cycling story.
There we go. We've done
Both
our
of them
vehicles.
didn't go well.
No, but I'm so glad I don't drive. Do you have a driver's license?
I do, and it expires in July of next year in the U.S., and so I have to either transfer it to Germany, which I tried to do, and then COVID hit, and I started a business and had no time, and so didn't finish the process. So I don't know if they'll let me or not. Or I have 5 days in the U.S., 2 of them which are holidays, which I can renew in the U.S.
That sounds tight.
And then I know that my family's not going to be happy if I'm like, hey guys, great to see you. Let's go to the driver's license place.
DMV. Was it called the DMV?
DPS in Texas, but DMV, Department of Public Safety in Texas.
Oh, public safety. So your family has guns for real?
All of them do.
That's crazy shit.
Then there was a shooting in Dallas on like a few years ago, like after I moved to Germany, and all of my family was saying, hey, Foster, you got to be safe. You're in Europe. It's very dangerous there because, we don't know anything about Europe, Germany, whatever. I don't even think I was Berlin this time. I think I was in Leipzig. And I was getting tired of it. And so I saw, just on the news over here about Dallas, someone asked me, they're shooting in downtown Dallas. And I got family there. So I called them up and I was like, hey, are you safe? Just want to make sure, there's a shooting. I knew they were safe.
Yeah, but you
still,
wanted to make a point.
It's like, hey, I'm just letting you know, you've not seen Leipzig in the news at all.
Yeah.
Ever. And we're hearing about this going on right now.
Yeah.
Active shooter. And they're like, oh, don't worry, we have our guns. And I'm just like, that is the worst thing to say right now. It's like, oh, we're no cool. We're good with shooting someone. No, but that's
it's just endlessly shocking to me how the States maintains its approach to gun laws. Because Australia, we had a mass shooting in 1996, and it was like boom, 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 all weapons, and only if you have a farm and you've got a permit because you've got to shoot a cow in the head occasionally or whatever. It's just immediate, and you know what? It's crazy. No, almost zero gun violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What? I understand that they're a big lobby group. I understand that there's money, but it's just how many of your children are going to be murdered? I don't get it.
In a city, there's no reason for a gun.
There's none.
I can't think of one reason in a city unless other people have guns. But I can't that's why you take away all the guns. But in a city, I've been in Berlin for 6 years and Leipzig for 2. But I've owned a gun for 2 years in my life. I was 10 years old. My dad gave me a gun.
What the fuck?
Gave me a shotgun that was bigger than me. And I could barely hold it. And so after 2 years, I was like, that's too much for me. And
at the ripe age of 12, you were like, I'm giving up my shotgun. This is too much.
It's too much for me.
I thought I had it at 11, but no, really, it's too much.
It was too much.
That's crazy.
But I've never thought, oh man, I could really use a gun right now. That why?
There's an argument in the States where that there is no trust in the police. So because there's no trust in the police and they have guns, that you need a gun. But it's not by police non people who don't trust the police. They're not the ones that are we need the guns and we're going to fight for it. It's it's not that good.
We can get really heavy into this very quickly if we want to, because I think that's again, I think that if the police saw a bunch of people who are anti-police march down the street with guns, then there would be some things happening. And I think the police would be looking for any reason to give them trouble whatsoever.
People only have guns because people have guns. As in, people want a gun because other people have guns. That's it. It's I know someone who let's not go too heavy. The States are just fucked up, man. I don't know. I'm really glad that you're here. You got out and
escaped.
And the loneliness is not like it was back in the day. And you don't have a shotgun anymore.
I don't have a shotgun anymore. When I was in West Texas, I did think about buying a shotgun, and I decided I was just going to wait for a bit. And then I just ended up not getting one.
What was the logic?
We would hunt occasionally.
Okay.
So that's one of the things I feel I'm one of the few people in Berlin who's not vegetarian, who's like completely cool with that, because like I've hunted and I've like cleaned, birds that I've shot and like prepared them for dinner.
My new theory with my diet is that I will eat what I would kill.
Yeah.
So I will not eat beef. I could not kill a cow, but I would absolutely kill a chicken. I think they're super annoying and ugly. And they're so tasty,
And they're tasty, and they can't fly even. I mean,
ducks, rapists, I will kill a duck.
I didn't know they raped.
I will rape it. I mean, I will eat it.
You wouldn't. How would that work? Like, just logically, I'm sorry.
Just kiss it on the mouth without consent. No, I wouldn't.
No, it's gonna fly away. Unless a baby duck, and that's just pedophilia.
I'm holding it, yeah. Baby duck. No, ducks are rapists. Like, as in how they mate. The male penis is the male penis instead of the female penis, but the duck penis is like a corkscrew. I'm pretty sure it's like a corkscrew that goes like let's say it goes clockwise, and then the duck vagina is like a maze that goes the opposite way. So like he has to fucking ram it in, and her vagina has been created to repel the duck penis, is what I understand.
Okay.
And so every time they want to have sex, well, she never wants to have sex. He wants to have sex, and then he's got to like kind of destroy her a little bit.
Okay. Well, fun facts.
Oh, that was rough. So yeah, I would kill a duck and eat it. I would kill a chicken. Fish, I've killed a fish. I've cut it open. I've held its beating heart in my hand and felt very okay about it.
Yeah. You just gotta, as long as you're aware of what you're doing, I have no problem with it. But if you have a problem with it, I think the hypocrisy in this case is the worst.
Absolutely.
Like whatever. Like Norm Macdonald had a bit about when Bill Cosby was found out that he was drugging all the women and raping them, and Norm, I think, said something to the effect of, "Well, I hate it when people say that hypocrisy was the worst part of it."
Yeah. I love that joke so much.
It's like the rape was the worst part of it. The hypocrisy was second.
Right. Maybe even third. I think the issue is... Oh, Norm. Yeah, totally. But no, the hypocrisy with eating what's it like? I'd say like consumption morals, let's say, and people who are like, oh, I don't want to see the bones in my chicken. I don't want to know that it's from an animal. And it's like,
well, I don't want to see the bones in it either, but that's for a completely different reason. I just don't care. Like, I don't care to eat around the bone.
Oh no,
I don't like eating around the bone. No, it's just annoying.
Is it? But it's part of the like it's just...
Yeah, if you're gonna have wings, sure, but I don't want to. I don't want to deal with like that's why I use the chicken breast and the tenders.
Okay. I'm a big fan of anything that's like super looks a lot like the animal was. Like I want it to
okay,
look
so you want to
that.
do the old fashioned
and like the thigh, and I want to see all the grisly stuff and bits of blood, and I like that.
Do y'all have medieval times in Australia? Because all I'm thinking is like the giant, like
giant.
I
don't know. Is that like a role playing game thing, or
okay? You don't have it. No, it's
we
like
might have it. I just don't know about it.
It's a place where you go.
Oh, it's like a restaurant.
Yeah, it's like a restaurant where they'll have like a tournament of like jousting and like it's all like
that really exists in the States.
In the U.S., yes.
Oh my god.
Where a bunch of Americans pretend to be Europeans from like 500 years ago. Or we don't know when.
Yeah, we don't know. They don't know. Yeah, exactly.
It's Game of Thrones.
In the past.
It's the Game of Thrones, like the tournament start of it.
Totally. I think I've seen that on movies, and I'm like, that would be fun, just to be like disgusting.
It's mainly for kids. It's mainly for kids, and kids are like, oh my god, that's so cool. It's like Robin Hood or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Robin Hood times. Yeah. Okay. So like England, maybe.
Yeah, I think they all have fake British accents.
They're like 1100s, maybe. I don't know. I like the idea of doing more like a Roman orgy style, like where everyone's like, like there's food and everyone's naked and there's like people pouring wine on each other. And
like 99% sure you're in the right city for that.
Yeah, I know, right? I want it to be in like some kind of beautiful like, stone tall building with just candlelight, and yeah, that'd be cool.
That actually would be. I think that would be like a really like Berlin could like is one of the few places that could get away with that.
Could do it, right? Yeah, I need to find that orgy.
Well, no, it just needs to be like a Kit Kat Club version of that.
Yes, exactly. Have you been? I've got to ask. Have you been to Kit Kat?
No.
Have you ever lined up for Kit Kat?
I've not. I've actually not lined up for any club in Berlin.
Never lined up for a club.
I make a joke about how they don't let me in a club, so I've just never. I was going to go to a club. I forget which one.
You gotta not take your shotgun. That's the problem.
I gave that away years ago. No one knows where it is now. That's part of the problem.
Uh-oh.
With a couple friends, I was here for like 3 months for a job. And we were like, okay, we're gonna go to a club, and I wore like a dark green shirt and pants because I was like, that's what you wear, right? Like I don't even know what you wear.
Oh yeah, dark green shirt and pants.
Like black shirt, like a black t-shirt and pants. Like that's what you wear, right? And I had like a dark green one. I was like, that's close enough.
That's close. Yeah. Was it a button down?
No.
Okay, it was like a t-shirt.
It was very similar to what I'm wearing right now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But like this one's newer.
Okay, yeah, and lighter, I guess.
It's about the same color.
Oh, okay, so more like khaki.
Something, I don't know. I figured it was fine.
Yeah.
And like at the end of it, we were at a bar before the club, and I was like, oh, I just really hate like loud dancing music. And so
then why would you go to a club?
That's why I don't.
Yeah. Although you do like karaoke.
Yeah, but that's because I'm hearing my own voice.
Okay, but also other people.
But that's it's like going to a comedy show where I'm performing, where it's like I'll put up with your jokes as long as you have to hear mine.
That's why. So you don't like a dance. You don't like a.
Not really. Yet again, I've always had. I've never liked just because like especially at a club where you're dancing with strangers and you can't even like talk.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I often talk to people, but like not
Because I went to a couple of clubs in Leipzig, and every single time it was like, hey, we went to like with a group of friends or whatever, and then everyone's dancing, whatever, and I'm like, cool, great, we're dancing, and then I'm just like, okay, great, this is yay.
Is this it?
And then we'll go back to the bar, and the music's way too loud, and I try to talk to any of them, and you can't hear anyone saying anything.
Okay.
And of course, in Germany, half the time there's a language barrier, so either I'm speaking German or they're speaking English, and like that's difficult. And so with the music being loud, then I can't hear what they're saying, and like all the jokes that I think are funny or just like the cleverisms that I think are good, they just go over their head, and vice versa, and it's like okay.
And it's like this isn't conducive to my kind of social interaction.
But that's what I like about Berlin is there's so many different, like you don't have to go to a club at all. I've been here 6 years. I've not been to a club at all, and like I still do stuff like every weekend, for crying out loud.
There's a lot to do in this city.
There's the scene that you want to find, and you'll find the people there, and there's enough people that are doing that who speak English.
Who speak English. I don't know. I do enjoy club. Like there's a couple of clubs that I really like going to where the music's good, like my kind of music. It's my kind of like, I enjoy it. I find it interesting, engaging, and the people are interesting, and I can make new friends or run into people that I know, and that's very enjoyable. And then I get home at like 7 a.m, and that's why I'm not posting enough content. No, I don't think that's it. That only happens like twice a week, and I think that's totally okay. But yeah. Okay, so no sex clubs. Cool. That's very good. And have you?
Well, it's not good. It's different. Let's just be real with it. There's no good or bad here.
No, there's no judgment. Exactly. It's like that's that. Yes. And then dating apps. You've had a couple of dates.
I've had a few dates with dating apps. It's been most people I've met in person after shows.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is with you.
That's where I get the majority of mine for sure.
But nothing concrete. Nothing worked out long term. The last thing that looked like it was going to work out, it turned out weird because I was invited for a threesome with her and her boyfriend.
Oh.
And they were looking at adding a third person to the relationship. And I was like, I'm going to dip out.
Like, oh, wow. Right. That's always interesting.
It's Berlin.
It is very
and
Berlin.
I was like, no, it's great. Do your thing. Like, awesome. That's not for me. I'm not going from like conservative West Texas.
Yeah. Did you know that she had a boyfriend at the start?
I knew she was dating someone, but I didn't think they were happy.
Okay.
And I've been told that as well. It seemed, I never saw them together. And I was like, this is just like not working. And like like from what I was understanding is she was living with him because she couldn't find another apartment and she was looking for something else.
Berlin.
And I was like, okay, so she's in an unhappy relationship. I'm not going to force it, but like,
Yeah.
if something happens, I'm not going to say no to it because was clearly into her. And then she was like, oh no, we're all good, and we're trying to open the relationship to a third person. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, I am not that third person.
I'm not gonna go. No.
Yeah.
I get jealous. It's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm gonna like get mad.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's I wish more people did that and realize their boundaries instead of doing things that make them upset and then behave badly. That is a problem.
No, that's a very big problem.
That is a very big problem. Yeah. I just came out of that kind of situation, so I'm really glad to be out of that. But yeah, so I'm heading into 2023 single.
I am too.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'm having more time.
More time.
Because the last 3 months, I've been looking for someone to help with our online content, and I've hired 5 people. I hope the 5th person who I hired doesn't hear this, although she'll probably find out tomorrow at our Christmas party.
Yes.
Because she's meeting all the other people who helped like with the marketing stuff here.
Yeah.
And so she'll be like, oh, the last person ended 3 months ago, and then I'm starting now. It's like, what happened?
But the thing is, all the other interns are so happy and like had such a good time here, so it's good that she'll meet them all.
Yeah, no, it's good. It'll say good things about the club, which is good.
Yes.
No, but that's been the biggest problem for me is like every time there's a new project that I want to start, because like this is I have to take care of this first before anything else, and there's just really nothing else I can do about that.
Yeah.
And so that's the excuse that I'm giving why I haven't had energy.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And I my comedy takes absolutely the first place, and then everything else comes around it, and it can happen, and you can work it, and it can happen.
But that's one of my goals for the 2023 is to make more time for relationships.
Yeah.
And because that's especially like in the summer when things are dying down, don't try to just like make it so like, no, your shows are all great, everything's great. It's like, you know what? We're going to do the best we can, but I'm going to take time for myself as well.
Yes, I think putting aside some time, and I got good at taking some time off, and then so I did my year review. Where are we going for time? Yeah. I did my year review last night, which I usually do on my birthday, which is middle of November. And
okay, what is that? Where you review your year for like what did you want to happen versus what did happen?
So usually the year, like every year, I'll write what did I achieve in the last year and what do I want to achieve in the next year.
Oh, that's more intense than I've ever done anything.
And I go through all of the things, and so I had to go through my calendar to be like, what the fuck happened? Like I remembered the main things, but like for example, I forgot that I did an intensive B2.2 course.
Oh, nice.
This year, and it's like, Jesus, Anna, like fucking pat on the back.
Well done.
I did 4 weeks intensive German, like that's nothing to be scoffed at. I've been wanting to do that for years and went full-time. Anyway, basically I went through and I looked at everything that I wanted to achieve and saw found out what I didn't achieve. And so I've listed those 2 things, which was like fixing my Patreon, like getting that fucking done, and starting a monthly newsletter.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, where I actually have the email addresses of people who would like to hear from me. Like, I don't want to just scoop it out from Eventbrite. I'd prefer to get people who really want to hear from me.
Yeah, that's always been, because a lot of people have suggested mailing lists for us as well, and I've been like, I don't want to spam people who don't want to be here.
Exactly. And so what I want to do with my newsletter is I want to do it where I write there's some funny written content.
Yeah.
And then there's links to some videos of mine, as well as maybe a video from someone else.
Yeah.
So I can promote them as well. And also with all the dates for the month. But the thing is, the only kind of thing that really blocks me with this is that shows pop up so quickly and venues move so much. So it's sort of like, well, I can put the dates that I know for sure that I'm in, but I guess at the end it'll just be like, check my Instagram for the updates because the schedule changes.
Yeah, I would say put a link to just like a list of the shows that that you have that you update regularly. Like your events page on your comedian page or something. Yeah,
I'm not even updating that as much. Like really Instagram's been like just my stories are where you can see my next 4 shows. Like that's always... But anyway, so my Patreon newsletter, and then and I've got some like exciting, like got to think about where I want to go for the next in the next 11 and a half months, and I'm excited for 2023. But I do keeping some time for like making sure I'm taking breaks for myself is something that I and I read like there are books that I really just want to sit down and read. I want to make time to make music, and it's just like it's just finding time.
Yeah, because I just started performing again recently. Like I'd perform like maybe once a month, but I mean, like the same. I'm doing the same style, but that's one of the things as well is that I know I'm not going to meet people when I'm not performing because that's the easiest way to meet people.
Absolutely.
Is you just hang out at the bar after the show, and if someone likes you, they come and talk to you.
Absolutely.
It's that easy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it's not that easy. It's that simple. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. But
if you do one performance a month versus 6 a month, that's 6 times. That's 6 multiplied by 6.
Yep, that 1 multiplied by 6. I thought you were the numbers dude, Foster.
It's logic. It's logic.
But yes, absolutely, and that's a good way of expanding.
Well, just in general, but it's just if I don't have time to even write stuff and like get the energy to perform, then like how am I gonna have the energy to do stuff outside of this? That's been my I know we started off on a dark note, and now it's looking like we're ending on a dark note.
We're
not going to end on a dark note. We're going to end on a fun.
Exactly. We're leaving Berlin for a little bit. We'll be coming back in 2023. I will be doing my podcast from Australia.
Do you get free drinks on the flight to Australia?
Oh yeah, I'm flying nice. I'm flying Emirates, I think. Or
nice.
Yeah.
I'm doing Lufthansa.
Lufthansa. Okay. Do you get free drinks?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have a fun old time. What I always do when I go for long trips, that's when I go through all my stage time and shows and I do my spreadsheet. And so by the time I arrive in Melbourne, I'll know how many hours I was on stage this year, how many shows I did. I've kept it pretty much up to date because I also got into the Artist Guild for insurance. I'm in the KSK officially.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds amazing.
Okay, yeah. It just basically means that like
something Steuer?
Künstlersozialkasse.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it means that no matter what happens as an artist, like if I earn less, then I pay less insurance. If I earn more, I pay more. But they act as my employer, so they pay like 50%.
Oh, well done. Good job. Is that like a government-funded thing? Or
it's a government-funded thing.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah. I'm pretty... Nice. Some work. So because of that, I've been tracking all my shows and all my income. And so it's going to be... Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be able to release my stats for 2022. And yeah.
What do you think? How much stage time did you do?
When I think that I was up to, in September, I was at like, I think I was at like 90 hours.
That's a lot. I have no idea. I have literally no clue how much time I've done my like comedy career.
I keep record. Yeah.
It's between. I've told someone this as well because especially the newer people, they always know exactly how many shows they've done. They know like it's been a 3-minute set, 5-minute set, 7-minute set.
Yes.
And for me, it's like, it's between probably 300 shows and 1,000 shows, and I have no idea which one over this last 6 years because there's
6 years. Yeah.
No, I haven't done comedy. I've done comedy 5
years.
I think 5.
Yeah, it's the same as me. 5 years. January 31st. That'll be my 5-year anniversary.
I did Cosmic Comedy the first time, and it was a long time ago. And I had a good set because it was Cosmic, and that's what started this whole thing.
Fuck yeah! Well, thanks to Cosmic. Mine was Joke Time, so it's thanks to Toby Arsalan.
Toby. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay, we will.
So you can find Foster where? Foster Yow?
Well, just Instagram the Wall Comedy _Berlin is the best way to find. Just follow us and stuff. Come to shows. I don't really post on social media for the most part, but if there's a post there, I've probably approved it. So that's the close for me. And I post all my material there that I'm starting to post.
Fantastic. The Wall Comedy Berlin. That's the
_Berlin.
_Berlin. Amazing. Cool. I'm going to continue the podcast in Australia as of next week. That's been Adults Only Comedy Berlin for 2022. See you next time. Thank you and goodbye.